So I was just sitting here thinking, not about what I'm going to tell you about in a minute, but I'm thinking about how the words, I know God, in this environment, that gets to be personal. And I love that about our teaching. I love that we don't say you have to know God only this one manner, or this one way, or this one teaching. I know God is personal to all of you and everyone. Not everyone embraces that, but I love it that we do. I love it that I know God means something different or the same to all of us. And for me, one of the ways that I know God the best is through music. Sometimes I can just say, you guys just keep singing, forget it, I don't need to say a word. Let me just listen to you. Music touches me. Music lets me know that the presence that's greater than I am is right here, because it just goes past my head, goes right into my heart. Yeah. I do have a superpower, though. Your song said you didn't have a superpower. I do have one. Somebody recently gave me a dish towel. And said, I have a superpower. I make wine disappear. I had to segue from my touching moment. All right, so everybody in this room, I would imagine by now, has experienced a toxic relationship of some sort, or one that we would call toxic. What do I mean by toxic? I mean really negative, the people who are just bummers to be around. The people who will drain you of every ounce that you've got to give. The people who live a very dysfunctional life and love it. The people who are clingy, not just, let me just make a disclaimer. I'm not just talking about the relationships that are a little challenging, because those can be our best teachers. Challenging relationships are here for a reason as well. It's not really what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the ones that it just sucks you. And the way I know, this really big scientific word, it feels icky. It feels icky. When I'm around a toxic person, there's something that it feels like there's ick on me. There's ick. It feels icky inside, it feels icky inside. You can put your own word, but it's a real big fancy word, icky. It just doesn't feel right. And you kind of know. And sometimes with toxic people, it's like no matter what you try, you might go to therapy together. You might have long, drawn-out conversations to try to heal this thing. You might pray to heal this thing. Nothing seems to change. You might change. Woo, hallelujah. It doesn't necessarily mean the other person will. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But I think everybody's probably had a toxic relationship of some sort, and you kind of know what I'm talking about. Sometimes what we do know, what we don't want to know, is that we need to break up with that person. But breaking up isn't always easy.
Don't take your love away from me. Don't you leave my heart in misery. 'Cause if you go, then I'm blue. Breaking up is hard to do. They say that breaking up is hard to do.
These songs all just floated in. I'm like, breaking up is hard to do. Absolutely. Breaking up with the people that have the toxic relationships in our lives. If you've ever had to do it, you know that it's not easy, because even if you might know you need to, there's something that kind of kicks in, like maybe a little guilt. Oh, well, gosh, I got to try a little harder. Or maybe I need to be more loving, which might be true too, but I trust that you know exactly which ones I mean. The ones that, tugs at your heartstrings because you think, well, if I break up with this relationship or end this friendship, I'm going to feel like, what's wrong with me? The kind of unhealthy models that we have. Heck, our culture has unhealthy models when it comes to marriage that says you got to stick with that person come hell or high water. It's like, well, it's a really nice thing to aspire to, but it's not always healthy. So that's what I mean by that. We know sometimes when we need to walk away, but something keeps us stuck for a really long time. Something keeps us hanging on for a long time until we finally realize that it's going to be necessary for my well-being to change this. It's going to be necessary for my well-being to to walk away from this relationship. We finally realize that I'm not being empowered, I'm not being forward, and neither is that other person. They're stuck too. Just wanted to say
The problem is all inside your head, she said to me. The answer is easy if you take it logically. I'd like to help you in your struggle to be free. There must be 50 ways to leave a lover. 50 ways to leave a lover. Just about that, Jack. Maybe playing stand. Don't need you on the road. Just get yourself free. My best service. Hop on the bus. Yes. Don't discuss much. Just hop on the key and get yourself free. You're late on that one.
that's all right. Hey, we still got the point. Whether it's a lover or a friend or whatever, you get it. So they feel stuck too, don't you know? Even though it seems like we're the only ones and we're going to walk away and ruin their life, but whether the other person knows it or not, they're stuck too. Nobody is being empowered in a toxic relationship. So set yourself free. Must be 50 ways. That's a campy way to remind ourselves, but it's a funny way. So we've probably also had experiences of thoughts and habits that we would call toxic. Thoughts and habits that we would call toxic. How do you know if a habit is toxic? Same way you know if a relationship is toxic. It feels icky. Doesn't feel so good. What do I mean? Okay, so thoughts. So those thoughts that come seemingly unbidden, that take us on a pattern of negativity perhaps. Like the very first gut reaction that is negative. That happens to everybody, doesn't it? You're in a situation and the first thing is the old pattern of fear thought. That's toxic. Fear is literally toxic to our bodies. Or maybe it's the bad habit like, I don't know, eating too much sugar. That's mine. The older I get, the more I realize my body doesn't like it. But dang, is it hard to let go of? It's a stuck thought. It's a toxic habit that's not serving me. And it's hard to break up. You don't need to play it again. It's really hard to break up with that. It is an old toxic habit. So you can kind of just take a minute and think, what are some of my toxic habits? What are some of my toxic thoughts? The go-to knee-jerk reaction thoughts that you know aren't serving you, but man, you found yourself stuck in that rut again. That's what I mean. I'm stuck in that rut again. It's not moving us in the direction that we say we want to go. We say week after week in class after class, we are these magnificent God beings who have at our disposal the most magnificent life. There's good for us in this world and we ought to have that. We hear that, we know that, but we find ourselves in that old rut again and we're not moving forward. Or maybe we move forward a little bit and that's good. So I move forward, yay, and then I'm a little stuck. These are the toxic patterns, the toxic people, the toxic habits that aren't moving us forward. Now for me, maybe for you too, it's much easier to recognize the toxic relationship because it's out there, right? The toxic relationship is you are rubbing me the wrong way. You are the icky one in my life. The toxic habits, the toxic thoughts require us to look inward. We've heard it before, and you will hear it 1,000 times again. But it's the place that we must look over and over again to catch ourselves in those knee-jerk reactions. And I know, along with everybody else, how challenging those can be. I know how, it's a money crunch, and the first thought is, oh my God, how am I going to afford this? It's a fear thought. I know. It happens. We have tools to use. I am so grateful for the tools that we offer here. Our affirmations and our prayer and our meditation, and for me, the music, the ability to just turn within again and say, all right, I recognize you habit thought. I recognize you toxic pattern. I recognize this in my life. And I want to turn it around. I want to change that old pattern. But looking within must